Thanks for joining me for Worth Following Weekly, your 5 minute mentoring on the skills and talents we all need to develop to become a leader who is worth following. I'm your host and lead consultant for Roots to Sky Consulting, Mark Legvold. So, we've all been there, either on the receiving end or the giving end of a tough conversation or interaction. They're never easy and they never seem to go the way we want them to, either in the end result or in our final emotions. Over the next 3 episodes, we're going to learn together some of the ways to work through the difficult conversations we face so that in the end, everyone leaves feeling cared about and respected on both sides of the table. Ready? Let's start with a question. When does a leader who's worth following start to prepare for difficult conversations? If you answered when they know what the conversation's going to be about, try again. The preparation for difficult conversations starts long before the difficulty even occurs. After all, difficult conversations really happen when there's a relationship between two people, and relationships are the structure that provides for growth, development, improvement, and forward progress. It's more than effective onboarding of employees, or if you're starting a job, learning the policy manual. Beginning with developing positive relationships is a key part of your workplace. What it comes down to is trust and safety in relationships. Then, when difficulty arises, the people on both sides of the table start with trust and decency. As long as I mention the policy manual, while most policy manuals and legal guidance provide a framework for workplace interactions, they don't build trust, respect, and caring for others. That's the value system that people build through the interactions they have. But I get it. Just having someone in, reading policy, and the minimum consequence is easy. It requires no emotion, develops no connection, but face it, it's proper. Leaders who are worth following do the hard things well. They don't just do the hard things. That's why having a hard conversation starts long before the difficulty occurs through relationship building and ongoing care of the connections. I've heard from hundreds of people that the only time they ever dealt with their manager or boss was when they were in trouble. Don't be that leader, but also don't be that follower. Connections and relationships go both ways. So start developing the collegiality and good natured trust building early. Recognize that relationships take work, but the work that you do builds the foundation that allows for emotional safety when the hard things come up. So, how do you start building these relationships early? Well, I mentioned onboarding processes, and that's a good start. Make sure that your value systems are well articulated and you talk openly about the expectation of productive and positive workplace culture and relationships. Make relationship building a part of what you do and understand its importance. Recognize that relationship building is a marathon, not a sprint. The words I don't care can't be situationally applied, and they should leave your vernacular if you want to become a leader who's worth following. I always care and care deeply should replace it. And here's why. If you stop caring when you need to let an employee go, they will become your company's biggest critic. But if you do care and care deeply, even when letting an employee go, they can become your best recruiter. If you stop caring when providing guidance and discipline with an employee, then they will stop caring when interacting with others in the workplace, spreading ambivalence and minimalistic performance. If you do care and care deeply when providing guidance and discipline with an employee, they are much more likely to spread that care to others and your company's overall mission and goals, building a positive culture around them. If you stop caring when simply walking in the door each day because it isn't your job to greet and get to know those you lead, trust in workplace relationships isn't built. In fact, mistrust will abound. If you do care and care deeply just when walking into work, you'll instill the connections and the relational reliance within the workplace culture that will permeate each interaction. Trust Decency and respect will be the backbone of all interactions, regardless of difficulty. Regardless of difficulty. So start preparing for that difficult conversation or interaction by building the relational reliance in the workplace today. This is not about manipulating, it's about purposefully building relationships that can be relied upon and a culture of care and respect, even when doing the hard things. Next week on Worth Following Weekly, we'll explore the actual preparation prior to difficult conversations using the 7 P's of excellence. Until then, I'm Mark Legvold from Roots to Sky Consulting, helping you become a leader worth following.